right, everybody. You know, I love Sema, and there is so many things that happen. Right now, we're about to go inside, and there's a reception. So I'm here with John Mcleod. John, what's going on tonight?
It's the Hot Rod Industry Alliance. It's always on Wednesday nights, and it's right after the show. And the Hot Rod Industry Alliance has the second largest event at Sema, only behind the Sema event itself.
It's big.
And this opportunity is for all the hot rod industry to get together, network, and they'll have special recognition for some special companies and special people, and they will celebrate just the industry itself and just sit back and have a chance to talk.
I had a great time last year when I was here, and of course I was invited by Classic Instruments and John himself, and again the same thing tonight. I'm excited, so I do know there is awards, and it's just a fun event, isn't it?
It is.
Are we going to have some cars in there?
Oh yes.
We are going to have some cars in there. You know, there's something special about having these beautiful restored cars on the carpet. Is it just me, or is it just the whole carpet gives it a different look?
No, it's really cool to have the cars there. And what the HRIA is known for is giving young builders the opportunity to get in front of all of the stars of our industry and everyone and talk a little bit about them. It's been used as a launch. If you talk with Goolsby's, they started here. Rick Love and I were involved with the council, and we used to pick the cars. They were young, up and coming. We noticed they were building good cars. We brought their car in just like this one, and it was literally the launch of their career. Obviously, they did all the work, but we just gave them the platform to show people what they could build.
And to be seen by everybody, not just the public, but the entire hot rod industry in the one location.
Sure, and the icons of our industry. I mean, you'll meet all the icons of our industry.
And there's a lot of Hall of Fame inductees in there as well.
Yes, they will be.
Off the top of your head, who can we expect to see inside?
Well, unfortunately this year Bobby Alloway had something, so Bobby is always here, but you have the Rick Loves, we'll have Kyle Fickler, my favorite people from the media, so Brian Brennan, Tim Foss, all the social media people, just everybody you can think of that's here at Sema.
Yeah.
Make this.
And on the note of important persons, Bobby Alloway, big congratulations to him, because there is an award being handed to him tonight. Unfortunately, he could not make it. Unfortunately,
but he'll be here in our hearts, and everybody will take pictures and we'll talk about him.
Absolutely. What's the award that Bobby will be getting tonight?
It'll be Individual of the Year.
And that sounds very big.
It is. I mean, to be recognized by your peers in this industry, there's just nothing like it. And Bobby, I've talked to him multiple times today. He's sick that he's not going to be here, but it's a family emergency. It's understandable, but to be honest, he is very worthy of this.
Absolutely. Bobby Alloway is a dear friend of mine, so Person of the Year, that is huge and very well deserved. Let's continue inside.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Members of our community. We'd like to recognize Joe Elmore, George Poteet, Alex Adias as absolute pioneers of our industry. And we all need to think about them and what they've provided to every one of us in this room. Please, let's just have a moment of silence for those unbelievable members of our industry. And they've been just incredible contributors to the vibrance of our industry. Good Guys Rod and Custom and the National Street Rod Association. These guys have recognized so many members of our industry over the years and demonstrated those individuals through trend-setting values to the hot rod way of life. NSRA recognizes a long life of contribution to our hot rodding culture and industry. Both of these award winners have delivered the hot rodding experience to people all over this great country. Good job. We have a number of activities planned for 2025. Unbelievable we're saying that, isn't it? We have a number of upcoming events that are incredibly safe, and we've got many to thank for that. If you're a member of the current or previously member of our military, police, first responders, would you please stand up and be recognized? Thanks to people like you that make this environment safe for every one of us. Thank you. We've got the Grand National Roadster Show coming up in just 2 short months, or 2.5 months. Amazing. We're going to have a great panel discussion there. Anybody that wants to listen, we have an incredible podcast that we developed this year called Hammer Down. It's the Hot Rod Industry Alliance podcast, and we've got ongoing development and ongoing podcasts being recorded. We'll have a number more in 2025. If you haven't subscribed, there's cards on your table. Please take a listen. If you like it, subscribe. And if you really like it, share it with your friends. That's all we ask. So education days at Good Guys in Columbus, and also the NSRA Nationals in Louisville. We had over 1,000 attendees at our education days seminars that were put on by you, our member companies. And we want to thank you for that. Our focus is moving more and more curriculum to the value and to the benefit of the builder community. I like to say you guys are the tip of the spear. And as you're successful, everyone else follows.
And industry involvement have made a significant impact on the HRIA and the hot rod industry as a whole. This year's award recipient certainly fits all of these criteria. Our winner builds cars the way he'd like to see them done, and his efforts have racked up a trophy wall that is practically unrivaled in the industry. From Builder of the Year at the Grand National Roadster Show and Detroit Autorama, to Good Guys Street Machine and Hot Rod Builder of the Year, two-time America's Most Beautiful Roadster winner, Sema Battle of the Builders, and even winning the Riddler Award. His clean hot rod and street machine creations have taken home all of the most sought-after hardware in this sport. He brings decades of experience to the table and continues to create handcrafted rides in a changing landscape of digitally designed cars that have parts made by machine. But the fans love what he does. He prides himself on bringing out the essence of the shape, where less is truly more, except when it comes to the engines. But there's one event that he's not been able to win. The awards presented at the Triple Crown of Rodding have all eluded this famous builder, but not because his creations were not on display at the two-year-old event. It's because our HRIA 2024 Person of the Year helped create that show with the intent, in his words, to give young hot rodders a place to go and keep the politics out of it. Always one to share his experience and advice with other builders, young and old. He's a man who calls practically everyone in the industry a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2024 Sema HRIA Person of the Year is Mr. Bobby Alloway. We're going to invite Rick Love to the stage. Unfortunately, Bobby's not able to be with us tonight from a family reason, but you might have seen this guy. You've known Bobby for a couple of minutes.
Sorry for the disappointment on that, and I got to tell you, there's nobody more disappointed that he wasn't able to be here than Bobby. I have known him for more years than I want to count, and his mother-in-law has some health issues. He was on the way here and basically changing flights and had to turn around and go home. So we called him and let him know that he was going to be the recipient of this award. And like I said, I've known Bobby for many, many years, and I haven't heard him be this emotional in a long time. He's made every SEMA for a long, long time, and not to be able to be here for this was a huge, huge disappointment for him. So I'm going to try to give some of the words that he told me that he wanted to be communicated to y'all. I certainly can't do it in his southern drawl, so bear with me on that. But he was so humbled by this. Like I said, he was choked up when I told him about it. And those of you that know Bobby really well, that doesn't happen very often. And Bobby had this idea to have an event that was dedicated to the people that built cars and give them a place to show these cars. Gary Case got involved in an early time with this, and their vision for this event was a place for people to bring, builders to bring the very best and have them shown with the very best from across the country. And I think he realized that first year, the people that came because of Bobby, because of the way they felt about Bobby. They didn't have any idea how the show was going to be. They didn't have any idea what was going to go on. But the fact that Bobby and Gary were putting it on was enough for them to come cross country in many cases to be there. And that to him was just amazing to have that kind of turnout for a first year show. This year's show was even bigger, and I think it's become one of the premier outdoor shows in the country in a very short time. And I think those of you that have been involved both as a participant and like we are as an exhibitor, these guys listen to what constructive criticism was given to them from the first year to the second year, and they do everything they can to make this event be what it is. So Bobby just wanted, his idea was to have the Woodstock of hot rodding, in his words. And I think they were very successful in that, and I think they were very successful in it because that show had Bobby's personality to it, and that in itself is unique. So to HRIA and to all y'all that were participants, that were exhibitors and spectators at that show, there's just two words, and that's thank you. And from the bottom of Bobby's heart, thank y'all very much.
They have to be a Sema and HRIA member in good standing. They must be a company in manufacturing, retailing, wholesaling, or publishing with at least 50% of their business done in the hot rod industry. They must demonstrate good business sense and integrity and ethics, and they must currently be in business and have been doing business for a minimum of 5 years. It's a pretty long list of qualifications. And finally, the business should have made a commendable contribution to or some kind of an impact on the hot rod industry. Our 2024 recipient lives by 3 underlying principles: quality, service, and delivery. The company has seen more ups and downs than many will ever encounter, including nearly losing their entire facility not once, but 4 times to fire and floods over their 62-year history. But the quality of their work, dedication to their customers and their team, and their willingness to always move forward help them not only bounce back, but launch forward each and every time. In the most simple terms, they receive ugly parts and send them home as things of beauty. Automotive jewelry that is finely contoured, refined, sanded, buffed, polished, and plated to mirror-like perfection. To them, it doesn't matter if the part is for an over-the-top custom hot rod or to restore a 1970s family sedan. They understand that the significance to the owner who wants the car to look the best, whether it be preserving the nostalgia and memories or winning the show. They've pioneered new processes and finishes to provide builders with more creative options when crafting their masterpieces, keeping the industry vibrant and exciting as times and tastes change. And it's for these reasons, and so many more, that we present the 2024 HRA Business of the Year Award to Advanced Plating. Please welcome Steve Tracy to the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't see this coming. It's very, very humbling, to say the least. We're approaching 40 years in April for myself and Sherry. And I can't tell you again, how much I appreciate everybody's support through fires, floods. Yeah. There's a lot of people behind this award, people that are working for us for over 40 years. We have an incredible staff, and just to have the support of the industry and people's faith it is very, very humbling, and could not do it without the gal standing next to me on the left. So thank you very much, and everybody have a great show.
Contributions made to the progress of the hot rod industry and hobby. It's a tribute that takes on a very special importance. Not necessarily presented each year, but is bestowed as viable candidates are nominated, vetted, and selected. Our 2024 Hot Rod Industry Alliance Hall of Fame recipient is one of those people you have to know he's got the lights on. Even in casual conversation, you can tell by the intent focus in his eyes that he's listening and thinking of ways to be helpful. He grew up in a family that owned a small business, one that delivered their products on holidays and weekends, so a 24/7 work ethic is in his DNA. His interest in tinkering with all things mechanical began early, and he preferred turning wrenches on cars to turning pages in school. After high school, he trained to be a mechanic, but realized that the mechanic's life wasn't necessarily for him. So, being a people person, he switched gears and started a career in law enforcement, calling upon his ability to listen, understand situations, and communicate effectively to help people when they need it most. Over time, his passion for hot rods and cool cars led him back to the automotive world, where he worked at a restoration shop under a great mentor, learning all he could about the business as well as the cars. He eventually became the owner of Classic Instruments, known for their innovation, style, and performance instrumentation. And today, his vast experience and ability to help people and build teams powers his work at some of the great brands in the Holley family. He rarely says no when somebody needs help, and he works tirelessly to see things through to completion. And, if you didn't know, he still works as a police officer in his spare time. Gotta have a hobby. It's for these and many other reasons that we induct John Mcleod into the 2024 Sema Hot Rod Industry Alliance Hall of Fame.
You can run a mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile.
I'm a little at loss for words. This is an honor that I just can't tell you how important it is to me, what it means to me to be standing up here and all the people before me. And as I'm walking up here trying to think, what am I going to say? Dave McClellan came to my mind. I've been blessed to be up here so many times with him. He said, thank your wife and be brief. I'm going to do just that, because as I walked around the corner, my wife, Josette, joined me. So I'm going to thank my wife. Without her, I wouldn't be standing here. She's the one that's pushed me, told me to take the risk, do this, and she's the reason I'm standing here. I'm blessed with a wonderful family. My kids have given me 2 grandchildren. Like most of us, our ambassador, Rick Love, introduced me to the HRIA. And it's been such a meaningful thing to me to be part of it and give back. My employees are wonderful. All my best friends are here, and thank you. Thank you very much. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Mcleod, well deserving. to each of the winners, the cars must be making their first appearance here at the Sema show. We're going to take a peek at the top 10 candidates for our HRA Builder Awards. 1970 Mustang by Tucci Hot Rods, the 57 Pontiac Safari Wagon by Johnson Hot Rods, 68 Dodge Charger by Classic Car Studio, the 70 Duster by BBT Fabrication, 69 Bronco by Vinny's Hot Rods.
So excited, and I'm so happy for you, John. How do you feel?
Humble. It's very difficult for me to understand when you look at the list of names that are on the Hall of Fame. I don't have words to explain. I don't feel worthy to be at this level.
That's BS, okay? Because as somebody who's entered here, I mean, Hall of Fame is not, how can I sum this up, okay? For someone who's come in here, you've become one of my best friends in the industry. You've just been so helpful. I mean, whatever question it may be, you're always happy to help you smile on your face.
That's the heart of it. That's what's so great about this industry. It's all friends and relationships helping each other. And I do love doing it. I love watching other people be successful. I love other people building their products. And to be honest, I would rather other people be in the limelight. I just want to do my part. I've been standing on the shoulders of giants, and it's just an honor.
I'm just glad to know you.
I'm blessed to know you.
Biggest congratulations was genuine John Mcleod.
You know what, you guys? Come on up.
Charles says I have to give a speech, so I'm going to make it brief. What an honor. We were not expecting this whatsoever, but we got a pretty good opportunity to build this Charger for an amazing customer. A lot of you met him, Ed from Houston. He said, build the baddest Charger you can, and I feel like we put it all out on the table. We've got a big crew. We do everything in-house out of St. Louis, Missouri, and thank you. It's an absolute honor. Thanks, Tina. Thank you guys so much. It's amazing.
Today. Yeah. This is proof that I don't even know the answer, but I'll tell you, it's the 87 Grand National, built by Dutch Boys Hot Rods. Congratulations, Dutch Boys and Montreal. Come on up.
Well, I'll keep this short too. I'm not really good at speeches, but I want to thank Angelo for giving us the opportunity and really the creative freedom to build the ultimate Grand National and really express design and creative freedom. And everyone back at the shop that really made it happen, especially these last few weeks, getting the car done for Sema. My dad for getting me into doing this for a living. Yeah, thank everybody.
That is an unbelievably amazing car. I got a chance to take a look at it earlier today. Very well deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our Evolution of Hot Rodding Award, the Dutch Boys and Angelo Vespi. Thank you all, gentlemen.